Inquisitor. I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
Demons tore her from me. I couldn't stop them.
So you had no time to think, only to act. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the Fade. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
I am able to pursue my duties with optimal efficiency, thanks to Skyhold's present state.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
You have remarkably little here on early to Vinter history. All these gifts to the Inquisition, and the best they can do is the Malefica Imperio. Trite propaganda. But if you want 20 volumes on whether Divine Galatea took a shit on Sunday, this is evidently the place to find it.
That's the Dorian I know, critiquing every book in my library.
I wouldn't have to, if you could find some rebellious heretic archivist to join the cause.
Are there rebellious archivists? Other than you, that is.
If Corypheus ever starts burning masterworks of literature, I'm sure a few will pop up. Did I see something by Genitivi here? I could have sworn.
What is this about, Dorian?
When we fell into the chasm, into the Fade, I thought you were done for. I don't know if I can forgive you for that moment.
I didn't open that rift on purpose, you know. Might be handy if I could.
Certainly. Let's tear holes in the Fade willy-nilly. Historically, that has worked out well.
I'm here. And alive, aren't I?
You sent me ahead and then didn't follow. For just a moment, I was certain you wouldn't. I thought, this is it. This is where I finally lose him forever. Are you... all right?
Stroud is gone.
Ah. It's as I thought. The Fade is an ordeal under normal circumstances. To be the only real thing there, beyond description. That any of us made it out alive is difficult to believe. That you made it out, a miracle. You do realize this feat hasn't been performed in over 1,000 years. Corypheus and his contemporaries entered the Fade and began the Blights. In comparison.
At least you were at my side.
No offense, but I'd almost rather I hadn't been.
No sense of adventure. That's surprising.
I've not your talent for survival. And not everyone is as discerning as I. If you can walk in the Fade, others will try to follow. Who knows what secrets Corypheus has revealed? Not all of them will be as lucky as you. What they could unleash. My advice? Keep this quiet. Let them speculate. Too many will see this as a challenge.
That's a good idea.
There are enough idiots in the world who think if they just use enough blood magic, their problems will vanish. It's exactly the sort of thing I want to stop back home. This I don't need. What I do need is a copy of the Liberalum. I'll wager I can find Corypheus's real name. If I can prove he was a grasping ankle-biter with no family to speak of, the luster would come right off. Wish me luck.
I'm told you gave the Grey Wardens another chance, Inquisitor. Would I have done the same, I wonder? Forgiveness can be difficult. I hope the Order values what you've done, and gives you no reason to regret it.
I'll leave you to it.
Of course. You walked physically through the Fade. Please tell me what you remember.
I had visions. Echoes of what happened to me the first time. The Divine was there, or something like her.
Manifestations of your own mind, perhaps? Or external memories awakened by your presence? I suppose there's no way to tell. No one else has physically entered the Fade since the Magisters assaulted the Golden City. Oh, I'm positively envious right now.
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
How sweet of you, my dear. But I'm sure there's nothing I can say that you don't already know.
Last, a full wheel of Antivan smoked cheese, and now 3 royals worth of crushed mint. They were right here. I remember seeing someone take them. I can't recall their face.
I told them the offer was the best we could do.
And of course they said no.
They want to choke us. They think we're too remote to do anything about it.
Shame they're wrong.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I cannot believe the Grey Wardens could even conceive of such a plan. To seek out these old gods deliberately in some bizarre attempt to preempt the Blight.
And calling the army of demons. That's my favorite part.
The demons are nothing. They're a tool.
A tool that would have let Corypheus ride roughshod over most of Orlais.
Even if they hadn't, the entire idea is wrong. The Blight is not something one smugly outsmarts. Forgive me. The entire idea is unnerving.
I knew Stroud, you know, not well. He saved Hawke's little brother from the Blight. Not many people knew who he was, but the man was a hero when it mattered. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.
You must be glad that Hawke made it back in one piece.
Yeah, closest thing I've ever seen to a miracle there. Oh, Hawke asked me to tell everyone back in Kirkwall where he's going. I'll have to let Carver know. I'm sure he'll take it well. I'd better write some letters. Excuse me.
Stone met, Inquisitor.
Do you have any insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what, you finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
Any Venatori activity?
If my agents find anything, you will be the first to know.
Inquisitor.
Let's see what we have. At your service.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these Du Paraquets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Now this is a hall worthy of the Inquisition.
Adamant's influence continues, your worship. I submit Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, who remains loyal to Corypheus. We found him alive, offering extreme resistance, likely because the Order will ask for his head. In more colorful terms. To say nothing of justice you might personally require for what was suffered in the Fade.
Many places felt the pain of adamant. You will answer for a great deal.
I recognize none of this proceeding. You have no authority to judge me.
On the contrary, many officials have communicated that they will defer to the Inquisitor on this matter.
Because they fear not just Corypheus, but Tevinter, rightful ruler of every piece of ground you trod in your pathetic life. I served a living god. Bring down your blades and free me from the physical. Glory awaits me.
Although willing, there is a group you have wronged more than any. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium. The Wardens can have you. Let them take your head if they want it.
Their petty justice or yours, it matters not. Truth lies in the next world.
Inquisitor.
I do not miss the tavern.
Writing does not come naturally to me, as I'm certain you can imagine.
Are you all right? You seem very intent.
I am. This needs to be done before I forget. As if written by a dim-witted child. Historians will one day ask what happened at Adamant Fortress, in the Fade. I wasn't there, but others were. Their accounts must be recorded.
What you write could be used against the Inquisition.
You're worried what I'll say about you, I assume. Do not be concerned. I am a poor writer, but not unaware of the weight my words might carry. I still don't know what to say about the spirit of the divine. The Chantry teaches us that the souls of the dead pass through the Fade, so it could have been her. Yet even so...
Do you really think it might have been her? A ghost?
A ghost. A remnant of her hopes and memories. Her lingering will to do good. Those things are all possible. Nobody knows for certain what happens after we die. A spirit could have assumed her form, but why? It helped you, as Justinia herself would have.
I don't know the truth any more than you do.
Sadly, unanswered questions make for poor reading. When they told me you were physically in the Fade, I was terrified for you. The last time such a thing happened, we created Darkspawn. We created Corypheus. The world needs to know the truth this time. No more legends lost to the ages.
Well,
Again. Again. Come on! This is why the Qun doesn't like women fighting. I should have asked Cullen. Good one.
Perhaps you can take over.
Qunari training exercise to master your fear. I heard about the nightmare at Adamant. Sounded big.
can you explain why I'm supposed to hit you with this stick?
Probably, if I try. It'd involve a lot of Qunari words, though. Just hit me with the stick, all right? I need to get over this demon crap.
All right.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Damn demon. Who's stuck in the Fade, huh?
Bull, if you're scared of demons...
Less talking, more hitting. Piece of Fade, piece of crap! And who killed you? That's right, Iron fucking Bull! I needed that. Thanks, boss.
And that works for you?
Yep.
All right, then.
Yes, sir.
Our hero. Commander Cullen did good work at Adamant. Breached those walls like he'd done it a dozen times. Nice job with the demons, by the way.
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the Chargers?
You sealed the main rift at Adamant, but the fortress is still a mess. Demons, Darkspawn, making knows what. I could take Rocky out there with some of the boys. They know how to bring down walls. We can't close rifts, but we can bury the bastards under a ton of rubble.
We'll talk later.
Damn, these are good. Are these nuts or seeds or whatever? They're good.
Can you tell me more about Saharan?
It was a damn ugly place. Only getting uglier when I left. Between the Fog Warriors, the Talva Shath, my people, and the Vince. You were lucky to go a day without blood. What do you want to know?
What were the Fog Warriors like?
They were the worst of the rebels. They trained for stealth attacks. They made this fog. I never saw any mages, so I figured it was alchemy, not magic. They were almost invisible in it. I'd be on patrol in the market square. The fog would roll in, and before I knew it, half my squad dead without a sound.
It almost sounds like you admire them.
They didn't use poison. They didn't hurt civilians, and they were damn good fighters. You have to respect that. Plus, they hit their Vince as hard as they hit us. Hearing some terrified Magister scream, "My slaves! Where are my slaves?" in the fog always put a smile on my face.
Tell me about the Tal Vashoth.
When Canary can't handle the fighting in Saharan or lose faith in the Qun, they go rogue. They flee into the wilderness and turn into bandits, attacking everyone. They're vicious, savage. You look at them and you can see why my people needed the Qun to stay civilized.
Isn't that what you did, though?
Hey, when I burned out, I didn't go rogue. I reported in and went where the Ben Hasrath sent me. I'm doing my job, serving the Qun out here. I'm not some bandit. I am nothing like them.
Tell me about the Tevinter people you fought.
The Vince sent forces to Saharan every autumn. Guess they didn't like the summer heat. We had some good fights on the beaches, standing in knee-high water, foaming red with blood. Ships on fire around us. The cities were worse. Free bit of advice. Don't let the Inquisition forces get suckered into urban combat.
Why do you hate Tevinter forces so much? What makes them so bad?
It's not their armies. It's their spies. They bloodied Saharan year-round, killing loyalists, supporting rebels. Alam had no city administrator. Nobody would accept the position. The last 4 who held it died inside a year. Trying to conquer a country is one thing. Making it so nobody can live there, that just screws everyone.
What are things like for the natives of Saharan?
I remember one guy. He made these things, fish wrapped in thin bread. Nice guy. Talk to him every morning. So, one time I'm asking about his bad back, and I see he's nervous, trying to tell me something with his eyes. Next thing I know, his assistants draw knives and come at my team. The rebels had forced him to poison my food.
And then?
I'd seen how nervous he was, so I hadn't eaten anything. A couple of my guys weren't so lucky. We killed the rebels. I lost 2 men to the poison, another to knife wounds. My friend who made the fish wraps died with a knife in his throat. Close quarters fight. He was caught in the middle. That is what things are like for the natives of Saharan.
See you later, Bo.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Inquisitor.
What's the current mood?
Obsequious.
What's the word out there?
7 people want your minstrel dead. They'd settle for smashing her loot, but they're afraid she'd sing about it.
As you were.
Inquisitor.
Thank you.
You've heard?
Of she who stands behind the throne.
And perhaps casts a shadow across it.
Nobility
I'm pleased to
do
hear
not
it.
properly understand the word witch.
Oh. I see.
Heard what went on in that Fade thing? What you think went on? Can't even start to believe that business.
I think a lot of people are having trouble with what went on there.
People going on about visions and piss when real people are gone. Dead, probably. Stroud, yeah? Lost a serious moustache there. And in trade, a busted down bunch of wardens. And they're always weird. Usually, bad stuff happens first, so you're glad when the hero shows up. But wardens are the wrong way round. They're the good thing that means a bad thing is about to happen. Like in Denerim, when the Blight ended.
A lot happened in Denerim. What did you see?
People talked a lot about this one warden. There was a big fight and they died, or... I don't know. Maybe they didn't.
The hero of Ferelden. You forget the hero of Ferelden?
That was ages ago. 10 years. I was playing with small painted boxes and burying stuff I stole. I remember more people cringing about magic than blight. Wardens were an excuse for your stuff to go missing. Blackwall's nice, though. Different from the adamant ones. Need more like him.
Just what I well, let me know if you find one.
I'll ask him.
No. But you like demons! I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings. It isn't abuse if I ask. Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic, which renders this entire conversation academic. He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Why would you want Solas to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solas won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages, and then I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
A mage using blood magic could conceivably do that to any one of us, human or demon.
You should ask Solas to bind you too, and then someone can bind him.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman. Good. They will not take me.
I wonder what it is that gives Grey Wardens their legendary skill and stamina. I should like to study one. Would that fine fellow I've seen in your company consent to a careful examination? The soldiers make me nervous. Sitting around here, tempers get short, and fighting. I saw one soldier reach for his belt like he was going to draw a dagger on the man he was arguing with. It was lucky he'd lost his dagger, or there'd have been more than a bloody nose.
Inquisitor.
That Corypheus, he's a hammer, smashing everything. The Conclave, Haven, Adamant.
That's why we have walls.
We had walls before.
Not like this. Haven wasn't anything like this.
I am at your service.
How are you doing? Good business?
In this gilded fortress, how could we not be?
Skyhold needs a healthy flow of goods. How can I help?
You've cleared 2 of the major hubs and restored trade to many. Gratitude would flow if this continued.
We'll speak another time.
Certainly, Lord Inquisitor.
Someone I knew once described Adamant to me. Adamant is, and always will be, the Order, he said. A guardian on the edge of the abyss. The lone soul that stares into oblivion and doesn't waver. That's what Warden Commander Clarel tried to be. Well, they all tried to be. None of the Wardens we saw wavered. They gave their lives willingly. They died for us. And Corypheus twisted their sacrifice to make it his own.
We stopped him. We saved most of the Wardens.
But not all of them.
and they died thinking they were doing something good. There's no one to blame but Corypheus. Even Chlorel's intentions were righteous. Her desire to protect was so great it led her astray. It's not right. To want to do good, to be good, and have that turned against you.
At the end of the day, I guess all we can do is try, and hope for the best.
You're right. What matters is that we never give up. Chlorel made mistakes, but she was a great woman, and she died a great woman. It's not the armor or the trappings of the Order. It's not the joining. At the heart of it, all a Warden is a promise. To protect others, even at the cost of your own life.
Inquisition?
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Oversupplied. Never thought a mountain pass could seem like luxury.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentecost.
I understand the Inquisition has tracked down the missing Seekers. Care Oswin. I didn't see Ban Loren as the sort of nobleman that would become involved in this war. The sooner we go there, the sooner I can put this search behind me.
Do you have any advice for me?
Now that the Grey Warden threat is dealt with, we must investigate the assassination plot. One can only hope it's not too late. More chaos in Olay only helps Corypheus.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then. You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium?
Yes. He trusted your judgment on the matter.
He was not interested in my judgment today. Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers.
Is there anything we can do to change his mind?
If anyone could, it's you. Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
No time. Working.
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
So long as you weren't aiming at me, I'm sure the box had it coming.
I swear, I didn't know you were... I never meant for this to interfere.
I believe you.
But whatever good it does, promises me nothing if I cannot keep them. You asked what happened to Ferelden's Circle. It was taken over by abominations. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall's Circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
With everything that's happened, you've picked a bad time to start over.
I should have seen that. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
You give enough, Cullen. I'm not asking you for more. The Inquisition can be your chance to start over, if you want it to be.
I don't know if that's possible.
It is.
All right.
Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these du Paraquets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
The Duperacats used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old House of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the Duperacats now? Traders? Farmers? Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Diplomatic connections that reach far beyond the boundaries of Val Royeaux, perhaps.
I might make use of your ambassador. The Montiliers aren't what they were, but at least they're from proper stock. Arrange for me to be introduced to the court of Antiva. I hear winter is most pleasant by their sea. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the Duparakets into lordship.
I appreciate the warning, but you shouldn't have come yourself. What if the guild found out, or what's his name?
Are you worrying for me or for yourself?
A little of column A, a little of column B. I am the expendable one, after all.
Oh, don't worry, I'll protect you. We'll just have to... Well, this is a surprise. You're the Inquisitor, right? Bianca Davry, at your service.
Your name is Bianca?
It's a common name. Half the girls in the Merchants Guild are named Bianca. The other half are named Helga. I lucked out.
I take it you're a friend of Varric's.
Who isn't a friend of Varric's? You have met him before, right?
Any friend of Varric's is welcome here.
Be careful saying things like that. Some of his friends you don't want to meet. Well, maybe you do. Who am I to judge?
Bianca's got a lead on where Corypheus got his red lyrium.
The site of Bartrand's Folly, the tag Varric found, has been leaked. There's a Deep Roads entrance crawling with strange humans carting out red lyrium by the handful.
How do we know they're not using multiple entrances to get to the tag?
Navigating the Deep Roads isn't like the surface. There's no accurate maps of the whole system, and there are cave-ins, dark spawn, lava floods. If you find a route that gets where you're going, you don't deviate. Trying to find another way could be deadly.
Who could have given away the tag's location?
There were a few people who knew. Hirelings from the expedition, a couple of close friends.
How they found out isn't important. What matters is we know where they are now.
If it's such a secret, how do you know about it, Bianca?
I told her. Right after the expedition, I wrote and told Bianca what we found. I had artifacts that needed buyers, and she had more contacts that would pay for them. Plus, I owed her.
You can get there from Orlais? It's a long way to the free marches.
The deep roads are all connected. Or they used to be. Collapses and such. Some of them on purpose.
They really are roads. They spanned the Dwarven Empire, went to every corner of the continent, maybe further. In theory, you can get to any tag using the deep roads, but in practice, there's a reason nobody uses them anymore.
We need to deal with this. As long as he has this source, Corypheus is that much more powerful.
I couldn't agree more.
I'll keep an eye on their operation. If you're interested in shutting it down, you've got my help. Try not to leave me waiting too long, Varric. I've got my own work to do, you know.
Right. That's not going to be trouble at all. Let me know when you want to head to the entrance.
Your worship. Another of the lingering pains of adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
You're very serious about this. Is more death the answer?
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
You feel your life is over? There's a place for such wardens. Saruth, you'll go to the deep roads. Your death may be as quick as you choose.
This sends no message. This is just an end.
I must return to Valrayo to see that everything is in order. Please join me when you can.
Up for us instead of protecting your own.
If you empty out the coffers of the nobility, what do you think will happen when the fighting's done?
I'll squat in your fancy sheets as well.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them. That you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
You were a singer.
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy. Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antiva, decided this exciting life was for us.
I don't imagine many firstborn heirs join those ranks.
No, I was a rather foolish exception. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard drew a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
You were only defending yourself.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montilyet, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years.
Inquisitor.
A situation requires your attention, Inquisitor. Noble Chantry loyalists in the city of Jadar are spreading accusations that you're responsible for the Divine's death. They're unusually organized. I recommend we send people to Jadar to deal with the matter.
Let's send some ambassadors to convince Jadar I'm not a monster in disguise.
Excellent. I believe there is much to be gained by